How many do you want?
7.
Oh. 7.
I'm already pregnant again.
Are you?
No, it's April Fool's, remember?
True. Oh my goodness, that was a good one. Okay, so we are back after a little hiatus.
A little one.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And you've got something in your hands too.
A little precious little man.
So who do we have here?
Little Ace.
Yes, little Ace. What a little cutie.
Oh, isn't he gorgeous?
He is so
I'm
adorable.
so obsessed with him. I can't even help myself.
I honestly love him. I love it how he is going to be our new anchor.
He's like attached to my hip. I can't help myself. Even when I put him down, I'm like, come back to me.
That's so funny. No, Ace is honestly the best. He's so cute. But then thinking about it, you were probably pregnant the whole time we were filming Think It a Doer, right?
I was. Can you believe it?
I can believe it because I knew.
The amount of times I told everybody, up here only.
That's so true.
I wonder if people actually thought, I have not seen a body shot of Alison for like ages.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, totally. I mean, I knew, so I obviously saw, but yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, you didn't announce it.
No.
But you know what? Good for you. You don't need to.
No, I'm actually so happy that I didn't announce it now looking back, and I don't have a reason. It was just
totally.
It was just so much was going on in my life, and I really wanted to understand about what it was going to be like to become a mum, and I wanted to be in the best mind frame, the best everything to transition into being a mum. So looking back, I'm so happy that I did.
Well, you know what? I'm glad because honestly, I feel like during that pregnancy, you were working so hard too, but you never let that ball drop. So good on you.
Oh, God.
Since our last podcast.
It's ours, isn't it? What's mine is yours.
Since your last podcast, your last guest was Jessica Seppel from JS Health.
Yes.
So what has been happening since then?
Well, obviously gave birth.
Obviously.
That was an experience. Wow.
How long was your labour? Share it with the class.
Look, we had a meeting to get to, okay?
Yeah, okay, cool.
I remember on Channel 10,
Yes,
it says
yeah,
Ace had pace.
Literally, Ace had pace. He was on the news. He's already famous. There you go.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay, so Jessica Seppel, last podcast, you had a baby. We had Christmas.
Yeah.
What else has happened?
We opened up a new business called Institute of Aesthetic Teeth Whitening with the beautiful Maria.
Yes.
And that business, believe it or not, was created all over COVID.
Yeah.
So you look back now and you're like, okay, a year ago today, pretty much, the business closed down.
That's true.
And you look back and you're like, oh my God, look what's happened in a year. We've been able to completely restructure the whole entire company. Mm-hmm. We've been able to open up the Institute of Aesthetic Teeth Whitening that now is essentially is for everybody in the teeth whitening community. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason behind that because we're bringing dentistry and non-dentistry together.
Perfect.
And we've done 2 masterclasses now, and it's just been such an incredible business. I'm so happy I did it, and
I did both of them.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it is something that will help the industry so much more.
Yeah,
so much more.
Well, believe it or not, this Wednesday, I don't know. Do you know a company called Dental 99?
Yes.
They're a huge franchise across Australia in the dentist field, and they've asked us to go and do the training course for them all. So we've got
amazing.
a contract with now Dental 99 doing all their training. So
that is so good.
What's coming out of it is it's amazing because we are bringing teeth whitening and dentistry together, and essentially non-dental professionals are still not dentists and they're not qualified.
Absolutely.
However,
they're essentially beauty.
Yeah, but however, they got knowledge and a lot of education towards them when they go into clients' houses or when clients come to them and they know exactly what teeth they should be doing, what teeth they shouldn't be doing, and the results that they can be achieving.
Absolutely.
We had girls come to our course who already have teeth whitening businesses, and it's just insane what they were doing before they were actually trained perfect. Yeah. And the results already, and they're not even using Sparkling White Smile products. Yeah. They're just using their own, they're using their own products.
But then having the knowledge.
Yeah, and I'm looking at their results with the same product that they were using before, and I'm like, look at how different the results are.
Tenfold.
It's the technique. It's how you apply it. It's how you put it on. It's about making sure the teeth don't look like cracked glass. Like,
and it's like understanding like your client and like what results they want.
Who needs it done. So I'm so happy that we've been able to do that. And Maria and I.
And this is the Maria from.
She was on the podcast.
She was on the podcast as well. Yes, Maria P. Lucas, an oral hygienist.
We love her. But over COVID, her and I, we were going on walks every single week together, and we were just talking and always talking about ideas for the industry. And I said to her, what would be the best for both of us, because there is a huge gap in the market. And Marie used to always cop a lot of shit because she used to talk to me, and I'm like, what, we actually need to all work together, because cosmetic teeth whitening is not going away. And if we actually work with you guys, the industry can go 3 times bigger for everybody, and the clients can get much better results. They can have better hygiene. It's better for everybody that benefits out of this. Perfect. So that's where we're at with IATW. I'm loving it.
IATW. I do love IATW. What else has happened with Sparkling White Smile?
There's always something going on with Sparkling. But we've pulled away from the franchising side of things, which has been the best thing I ever did as well. And we've gone into a new concept that essentially is, we've been working on an app for about a year and a half, and to my knowledge, it's 1 week away, but it'll probably be a month, knowing my luck. We are in testing stages, as you know, at the moment. And what I wanted to do with this app is, because essentially I've got so many opportunities to go overseas, and no one can fly at the moment. So what we're doing with the app is making sure that all of our technicians that come on board with us go through IATW, so they're very well trained, and then they are able to choose what area they want to work in, what days they want to work, and we will essentially start booking them in through the app. And it's like, if you think about it, it's a little bit like an Uber for teeth whitening, and we've been doing it now for probably the last 3 months. And it's been the best thing I ever did, because, some technicians can only work 2 days. A lot of our technicians are mums. They're all dental nurses or nurses these days. A lot of them. Some are beauty therapists as well. But they also have different other worlds. So they can't be doing 7 days worth of work. It just doesn't work. So now the ones that work 2 or 3 days, it works in their schedule. They can work after hours, before work, after work, weekends. They can choose what they want to do. And And, the booking already gets put on there. They go out and do it. And it's honestly, I'm so glad I made the decision from franchising into this way, because now, essentially, if we have Bondi fully booked or Double Bay fully booked, there is other people that can go and do the job.
Because they're available.
Yeah. Whereas with the franchising, it was literally one franchise that was looking after those jobs. And if they were fully booked, we couldn't actually send somebody else. So we might have lost the job. And it just wasn't in our best interest, especially with the brand and this type of business that we have. And to be honest, we have clients everywhere. So, we might have clients in Penrith one day, and we might have heaps of clients in Cronulla the next day. So we can't really guarantee which areas they're going to be in as well. Yeah. So I'm really, really, really happy that I've pulled away from it, and it's showed how much the business, what it needed to do and where we're at. And it's called a lease now. So it's pretty much like they come on, they become a lease, so they still own their own business, but they choose their own days. Yeah. So
I think it's good. Like, they're using the name, but they're using the product, but they work when they want to work. And they don't have like any other kind of KPIs or anything like that. Really, they need to work towards. Right?
And like we have 5 technicians in Penrith that are available now. And it's like, our clients are our main priority. So they don't ever have to wait. Before, they had to wait like weeks on end to have a job, because Penrith might have been fully booked. Whereas now, the girl that works in the Hills also works in Penrith. And there's never a job that a client's going to miss out on. And I'm so happy I've done this. It's the best thing I've ever done.
I'm glad.
Yeah. And
so
then,
obviously that's a big step. I mean, especially for Sparkling White Smile, I think that's good. I think it's helped us grow.
It has. And it's, it's really made clients happy. It's made technicians happy. And as I always say, I really want happy technicians, because they're looking after my clients. And it makes the whole industry better. And I love going to work, and I'm sure you do too.
Beautiful.
Franchising was not for me. And it's all due respect, I'm happy for whoever it works for, but it's just not for me, and not for the business that I've got. Maybe in my next business, it might be the right thing to do, but not for Sparkling White, especially with the opportunities and how many clients we have. We just do not have, it's not right for franchising.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you've got IATW, you've got some sparkling white smile news. What else do you have some news about?
Well, I have a technology company as well that's we've had this opened. I think it's probably been about a year and a half we've had it open for.
It's been a while, I think.
It happens on the side. A lot of my work goes into technology on the side, and I'm always looking to make the industry better. Mm-hmm. I am a bit of a person that will look at things and be like, that needs to be changed, or
something can be better.
Something can be better. Mm-hmm. So our technology company is all about making the industry better, making results better, making technicians happier, making things easier. So, I've got a few scientists that work in this company with us. I do have a business partner who is incredible at what he does on the tech side. We're about to launch this company as well. I think we've been at prototype 10.
Yes.
And I won't launch anything until it's perfect, but I can tell you it's perfect. And we've just approved all of the final bits and pieces. The results are 3 times better than I've ever seen before. And it's like, we did it. That was what was the purpose of this business? And it was to make the results better, quicker, faster. And we did it all. I'm glad. I'm so happy. It actually gives me so much joy to know that this is on its way.
Amazing. That's really cool. Obviously, can't delve into that further. What else, though? Oh, that's right. You're holding him.
My little bundle of joy. And he makes me cry every time I talk about him. So sorry, guys.
So being a new mum, what's it like?
I love it.
Yes.
I was made to have kids, let me tell you.
Yes. Okay, go on. Tell me.
I don't know. Like, I think for a long time I was so wrapped up in working that I was like, I'm never going to be able to be a mum or have the life that I want. And if I didn't do it now, I would never have done it. So I look back and I just think, oh my God, especially being told that I was probably never going to be able to have kids to be able to fall pregnant. And then I've got this little man. So he changed my whole life.
Oh my goodness. He is honestly a bundle of joy. I love him.
I'm obsessed. He's like attached to my hip. I can't put him down.
As he should be.
He's I can't even explain to you how much happiness someone can bring to you. Totally. And he just gives me so much purpose in life. He makes me want to work harder. It's weird.
Well,
it's so
talking
weird.
About working hard, you were literally working right until day dot of having him.
Some things you just got to do in life, and you make it work. And to be honest, I proved it to myself that I could do it.
Yeah.
And I thought, if I could work being pregnant, I'll be able to do it being a mum. And I wanted to see what my strength was, being pregnant, working the business, doing the hours that I was doing. I did it. And it was freaking hard, let me tell you. I struggled.
Absolutely. You did so well, and I applaud you. Honestly, you were out there working hard. Not to say that you weren't doing the right thing for your body. You know your body. Everybody knows their body.
You know what? That was the time I actually became healthy.
Yeah.
Because before being pregnant, I'd probably never ate. I just had a few coffees a day and off I went.
You were busy. Everyone gets it.
But when I fell pregnant, you physically have to eat. You have to take a break. You have to figure out your body. And I really did. And I became really healthy. I went to yoga.
Totally.
I started to look after myself before I looked after everybody else. And I've never actually done that for so many years. I've always put everyone else before me. And that's changed me as a person as well. I really looked at what was important and what wasn't important. I also, with business, I was working so much in the business that I now work on the business. Mm-hmm. And I say this all the time, and I think for many years, all I did was work in the business. When I felt pregnant, I had to work on the business because I physically couldn't
work.
Yeah,
absolutely. I get it.
And what did it do? It changes everything. It changes the business.
We got IATW.
Yes.
You've got changes for sparkling wine. Yes. You've got a technology company. You've been able to do so much more because you've realised and had that step back. So
yes.
I think that's
and
great.
I've been able to work on what I needed to work on and where it needs to go and everything like that. So it's actually changed my life forever. And I would never. I don't even know how I ever didn't have Ace. He's only been in my life for 7 weeks. But I'm like, how did I not have him? He's literally my best friend, and I now understand what mums say, they would die for their kid, because I would.
Literally, how many do you want?
7.
Oh. 7.
I'm already pregnant again.
Are you?
No, it's April Fool's, remember?
True. Oh my goodness, that was a good one.
No, I probably won't have another kid for another 2 years. But I definitely, I said to Andrew, if I can have 5 kids, I want 5 kids.
For sure.
And he's like, Alison, give it a rest. He's like 2.
So, I mean, you obviously didn't really say anything about your pregnancy. Was there a reason, or
I don't have a reason. I honestly don't, but it was more for my own strength. I wanted to see if I could do it myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't need the backing of social media saying, oh, you're doing
can do
well,
this,
or you're not doing well, you shouldn't be at work. And, there's so many people have different opinions on everything. And sometimes it's better not just to say anything and do your own thing. And off I did. And, I did announce it, I think a week before or 2 weeks before. And
I mean, you had your baby shower.
I had the baby shower. And, what? I was so worried about the baby shower. I wasn't even going to have one because I'm like, oh my God, everyone's going to post photos. And I didn't know whether I was ready to tell the world yet. And then I was like, you know what? I'm ready. I'm like, you post it, girlfriend. I don't really.
Post it.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful baby shower too, celebrating motherhood and you being pregnant, which no one saw, to be fair. There was no cute little, this is my baby bump today.
No.
But you know what? Good on you. You had it private, and I think
I did.
Each to their own.
I didn't have it private because, to be honest, everybody in my circle knew that I was pregnant. I didn't keep it from anyone like that. But they were the ones who I needed. They were the support that I had. Obviously, it was a really exciting time for Andrew and I. So, we had each other, and that was great with all my friends and obviously all my work colleagues. They were very supportive. So, it wasn't that much of a secret, and I feel like the whole world kind of knew anyway.
Totally. I mean, obviously, no one's going to say anything.
No one really said anything to me, but it was definitely like Chinese whispers around.
I mean, good for you, though. You were able to just have your own self-centered, to understand this is what pregnancy is, this is what motherhood's going to be, and you had your time to work around it. So good for you.
And it was an amazing time. It changes you forever. It does. It literally puts you from a little girl to a woman, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, that's crazy. I used to always think, I'm turning 30 in 9 days.
Oh, and you were meant to be in Europe?
I was meant to be in Europe, but I would always say, by the time I'm 30, if I'm stable, I'll adopt a kid or... But
I'll be your surrogate.
I don't even think I can have a kid. I'd love to, but I don't think so. Not yet, anyway.
No, honestly, you make it work. Like little Ace, I swear to God, I was at home the other day and we spent the day at home. And he cried all day and I'm like, all right, we're going to work. So, it's so good. And I think you make it work and you turn it into your own, you make it work. That's all I've got to say. But, I was always like, I'm going to have a nanny. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. I had the baby and I was like, I'm not having a nanny at this age.
I
have my family. I have Andrew's family. I have all my work. I can bring him to work.
Totally. You're lucky.
Yeah,
I'm
in a way
fortunate that you're able to bring
I'm very lucky and fortunate that I can bring him to work.
Yeah.
And, I was like, no, I need to be there for those milestones and I want to be there.
Of course.
So,
of course.
He loves coming to work. He's always getting hugs and kisses and he's a really good kid. He sleeps most of the time anyway.
Totally.
So why wouldn't I take him and why would I go and put him with a nanny? I want to be his mum. I'm the one who had the baby. I've got to be there. But I also have a business. So you have to make it work and you juggle the world. You juggle all of the workload and I've done it. I have.
Well, good for you. Honestly, you know what? Props to working mums.
I have a newfound respect.
Because... not everyone can do that. And that's the thing. People have to go back to work or some people have to, get help.
Yeah.
But you've been able to do everything.
I mean, I have honestly, a lot of help. I'm not sitting here. I am not sitting here saying that
I mean, super mum, you honestly are.
No. I have, Andrew's mum, she is so hands-on.
Yes.
She's
a Filipino grandmother. Of course she is.
Lola, yes. And she takes him twice a week. And then my mum on Fridays and Saturdays. So, and as much as I'm like, I don't want to give him to you guys, but, he enjoys it. They love it.
I mean, the grandparents are always going to say
And I know
yes
that they're always going to look after him the way I am. They love him just as much as I do. And it's like, oh, I'm just obsessed. In saying that, it might be down the track that I might need to get a nanny and she'll come to work with me, but I really am going to make it a priority that I'm in his life and I'm there for every single milestone.
Good.
So,
my goodness, you're so cute being a mum.
It changes my world. Would you ever sit here and think that I would?
No, I didn't even need to have you finish that question. No. Absolutely not. You know what? It's changed you as a person. It's changed you as a boss. And it's it's made you, I mean, obviously being a mum is always going to make everybody feel like get older or kind of mature up, but you were always mature. But I think it's turned you into a different person. But you weren't a bad person at the
Yeah, like what was I doing?
I shouldn't have said that.
No, go. How has it changed me?
I think it's changed you is that you can understand what is wrong now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that comes out bad.
No.
But it's that you understand, okay, well, I can see two sides to a story. Not that you couldn't at the start, but I mean, being a mum, you're going to have to understand, people won't understand stuff or especially Ace. Ace can't understand what we're saying right now, but all you can do is kind of help him in any way that you can. So I think that's where it's kind of helped you a lot in both in business and as a person in personal growth.
I think it's changed me forever, and oh my God, it actually makes you a better person.
Absolutely.
Your newfound respect for everything, and like, oh my God, I just start crying at the drop of a hat. Like, someone's so cute, I'm like, I can't help myself.
I mean, you're so emotional now. It's really cute, but that's all. So that's our little catch up in terms of business, IATW, being a mum, and Sparkling White Smile. And I think we also have some questions from our audience. Here I go again. Your audience on your Instagram. Ask them a question or ask them questions.
Yeah,
they asked you questions. So let's answer those questions.
Let's do it.
Are you wanting a dramatically whiter smile? If you're a coffee drinker or a lover of red wine, then Sparkling White Smile's premium ultra white treatment is for you. The ultra white treatment consists of 2 sittings 1 week apart. This headlining treatment is tailored to leave your teeth up to 14 shades lighter post-treatment. For bookings and inquiries, send an email to info@sparklingwhitesmile.com.au. That's info@sparklingwhitesmile.com.au.
So we have a little Q&A from all of your audience. I was about to say our again.
Yeah.
So let's go through those questions and just see what we come up with.
Let's go.
So you have, when are you releasing another podcast?
Well, today.
We had a long break, a long hiatus.
Yeah, we're sorry, guys. I got so busy at the end of last year.
Totally.
And I was so pregnant that I was like, I can't do it at the moment. I'm too busy. I got too much going on.
I mean, I love this podcast. It's not even mine. But I love it.
Pretty much is.
No, good though. I mean, good, yes. Well, here we are. We're doing another podcast for you guys. How is it being a new mum and balancing work?
I think you make it work. I absolutely love being a new mum. So, and I love my job so much that
Totally.
I think when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So
Totally.
I love being
You've
a mum.
You've always said that.
And I love my business. So don't get me wrong. I have to be very, very scheduled now.
Very organised.
Very organised. I'm up before Ace wakes up to make sure all my emails are at 0 before Jason sees them and starts screaming at me. But, you know, and I'm the last to go to bed. I obviously have always been someone who's low on sleep, so sleeping doesn't bother me. Ace is actually quite a good sleeper, touch wood. If I say anything, I'll get bad luck, so I'm not saying anything. But yeah, so I think I take Ace to work and I have that privilege of taking him to work. So I love it. I absolutely love it. And at the moment, I'm 6 weeks in, but I'm loving it.
That's it. That's it. Oh my goodness.
Ask me in 6 months. It'll probably be I have no hair, but I've got grey.
I don't think that would happen, darling.
I've got sleep tonight.
Another question here. How did you get so fit so quick post-bub?
Okay, so for me, I worked up until the day that I was having
absolutely.
So I never really
Stopped.
Working. Yeah, so I stayed fit the whole entire pregnancy. I made sure I ate very well. I didn't eat because of my body. I ate because I really wanted to make sure Ace was healthy. And we, after I got the okay and the clear, I started walking again. I'm still not at the moment doing any fitness, only walking. I'll be still walking for another 3 weeks. I did have stitches, so I have to be very careful.
Totally.
And yes, I'm walking every single day, but the whole entire pregnancy I did Pilates. Yeah, I did Pilates right until I couldn't do it anymore. But to be honest, I was working and my job's very physical. So you're always lifting. You're always packing away. You're running around. I was running to this podcast, to the next podcast, and then
literally to the next job, to the next meeting.
Yeah. So I stayed very fit the whole entire time. Probably the next baby will never. My body won't be back. So I'm embracing it.
I mean, your body's insane. Good for you, hon. We have another question here. Hey, gorgeous. Are you breastfeeding? And if so, how are you finding it?
Okay, yeah. So I did breastfeed for the first 3 days to make sure that the baby had the colostrum. On the third day, I got mastitis. Mm-hmm. I also had implants taken out a year and a half ago and went through a bit of a traumatic time. So I didn't actually know that it was going to be the best thing for the baby. I spoke to my obstetrician to make sure that I could breastfeed. And if I was able to breastfeed, 100% I would have. On the third day, I got mastitis. On the third day also, I remember being in the shower and I could hear the baby crying and no one else for me could really do anything. Mm-hmm. And I kind of made a decision there and then to not breastfeed because I know what my life's like and I have to do the best thing for the baby. So I decided to put him on formula. He ended up sleeping all night. Well, not all night, but enough. He wasn't getting up every hour and screaming. And it was the best thing for me. I am so happy I did it. I now have, as other people are able to bottle feed him, he's a good kid and he's happy. But I definitely did do the colostrum, and I will never, ever, ever judge a mum for doing whatever they do. I think they have to do what's best for them.
Absolutely, and I think that is probably that's the right thing to say anyway. I mean, whatever works for you.
Yeah, whatever works for you works, and I'm really happy that we're he's happy, I'm happy.
Well, look at him. Yeah. He hasn't made a peep this whole podcast. I shouldn't say that. We have another question. How was your labour and motherhood for you so far? Yeah, how was your labour, Alison?
Traumatic, let me tell you. Oh, my God. I don't know. Should I tell everybody?
Yeah, tell us.
Okay, so.
If you want.
Oh, well, why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why not? So what happened was, I remember I went to my obstetrician. I had to go there every single week leading up to the baby. And I was due on the Friday, which was the 12th. This was the 11th of February. And I went in there and I was like, I'm so sick of being pregnant. Get this baby out of me. And he started laughing and he goes, I can do some stretch and sweep thing. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, anyway, he did it, right? And he goes, it can bring on the labour. And I'm like, okay. Anyway, so that afternoon, I actually went back home that day. I was working from home and I was like, wow, this is weird. I'm feeling really sick. Actually went to the bathroom. I was really sick, vomiting. All of the morning sickness was coming back to me. It was just beyond. Totally. Anyway, we were picking up a snoo from somewhere that day. And we went to Mossman and I said to Andrew, I'm not feeling well. And he's like, you're such a hypochondriac. I was like, okay.
You're like, sure, I'm not the one pregnant or anything.
Anyway, so we drove home. On the way home, he calls his mum. He's like, Alison's carrying on. She thinks she's
But you were sick, right? There was no
I was getting
cramps.
I was getting these cramps.
Oh, you were getting cramps.
But they weren't full on. It was...
You probably just felt... Obviously, you said you felt sick.
I was just feeling really off. And then I was like, something's happening with my stomach. And he's like, you think you're in labour and you're such a hypochondriac, blah, blah, blah. So he calls his mum and he's like, Alison thinks she's in labour. She's just carrying on over nothing.
Well, you're like, it could have been Bruxton Hicks. Who knows?
So then I didn't want to carry on because I didn't want to seem like I was being one of those girls, And then we get home and then all of a sudden these contractions start. And let me tell you, when the contractions start, I was getting them for 40 seconds every minute. So it didn't go on for so a lot of people get them they're going 20 seconds every 3 minutes to 5 minutes. I was having 20 seconds between my contraction. And I'm like, Andrew, I can't breathe. I was on all fours. Had a shower. And then and then he called the hospital and I'm like, I don't want to go to hospital because I'm going to be in pain at home or I'm going to be in pain at hospital. Anyway, the midwife said, when they get to 40 seconds, you need to come into hospital. And they're already at 40 seconds. So on the way to hospital, oh my God. So you got to remember, I'm getting these contractions of 40 seconds every minute. So I had 20 seconds. I feel like it's an out-of-body experience. I was jumping out of my seat. I can't even explain to you how painful it was going to hospital. That was the worst experience of my life. And then got to hospital. And I was like, I need an epidural. I'm in so much pain. And because they were coming on so quickly, I was in so much pain. They put an epidural in. Anyway, so they did that. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, the pain's getting worse. And the midwife was like, how can it be getting worse? You've got an epidural. and I was like, I'm telling you, it's getting worse. And by this stage, Andrew had done that gas stuff. You know how you like, yeah,
happy gas.
Yeah, happy gas. So he was like passed out because he's like, she's going to be hours before she has the baby. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm in more pain. Andrew's passed out. And then the nurse is telling me that I shouldn't be carrying on. So I'm looking like...
You're like, okay, so I don't know what I'm doing then. Am I in labour?
Yeah. Anyway, so she's like, I'll just check you again. And she's like, oh my God, you're already 10 centimetres dilated. She goes, that's why you're in pain. The baby's coming out of you. And she runs outside and gets all these doctors, all these nurses. Mind you, my obstetrician isn't even there yet because normally they call him at 10 when you're 10 centimetres. And in 15 minutes the baby was here.
That's insane.
My obstetrician didn't make the...
Totally fine.
You pay all this money and he didn't even come. But anyway, and then that was that. It was the most intense thing that I've ever experienced in my life. So like
you would say like you were pushing for 15 minutes and bam, here comes baby Ace.
Well, you're like, well, we had a meeting to get to, right? But it was, I felt every single bit of pain because normally you have an epidural and you're fine for the rest of the time, but
you're sweatless. You're just smiling there waiting for to get your hair and makeup done, just chilling.
It was so intense. I've never experienced anything like it.
That is so funny.
And then I remember saying when I was in labour, I never want to do this again. And then I remember having the baby. I'm like, I want another one already.
That's literally what you said. You're like, I think I want 7. Imagine 7 labours now. Alison, how are you planning on juggling motherhood and running your business?
It's such a funny question that so many people ask me that. But like, one of my best friends, when I first told her that I was pregnant, she said, your life is already chaos. You're going to be fine being a mum because you're so used to juggling so many different things. Yeah. And I think that's what you have to do. But you make sure you're very organised. For me, I'm very lucky that I have an amazing team and I don't really get into the day-to-day kind of things on that side of things. So I'm very lucky that I just do all of the operations. And yeah, you make it work. You really do make it work. And I think anyone that says they can't do it, it's all mind over matter.
Good.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, you do. You really do. You're good. A question here. Why did you keep your pregnancy a secret?
Oh, well, as I said, I don't have a reason. And I'm sorry if I didn't tell anyone.
Totally.
But it was just more for my own, keeping myself, seeing what my strengths were and proving to myself that I could do it all.
Good for you. Yeah. I mean, there's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it.
There isn't. And everyone does their own thing. And I applaud anyone for doing what they want to do.
Yeah, I like that. What have you learnt about yourself since becoming a mother?
Oh my God, so much.
Yeah?
Oh, you completely change as a everything. And, you actually see how patient you are. You see how much you can, it's not even normal to like how much you can love something so small and like, it's just insane. Like if anyone ever hurt him, you just be like, oh my God. Totally. Like you want to be able to do the best thing for them. He actually inspires me to work harder.
Yeah.
I did read a scientific fact that, a happy mum will have a happy baby. Mm. So for me, a happy place in my world is working and is being out and about. So we make sure that the baby fits into our world, and he is. It's very true that, a happy mum and a happy he can feel it. Yeah. And that's exactly, it's very true. Like coming home and maybe, going to work at 9 o'clock or whatever it is, the baby's actually happier that I'm happy and he's happy. So it's a scientific fact.
Totally. Mm. I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. What helps you execute and meticulously plan?
Yeah. Always make sure I know exactly what I'm doing before I do it.
Totally.
It does take a lot of planning. Everything has to be in the best interest for the business or has to be in the best interest for the family or whatever I do, but I'm definitely always planned. I don't really have an answer for it, but it always is planned. There's no, you've got to look at, as I said, with the franchising side of things before we actually pulled back and changed over to the leasing side of things, we planned what was going to happen with the app. We planned how we were going to move forward. We planned what the future was going to look like. And that's a big thing in business that you have to do. Nothing happens overnight. People think, oh, I'm going to have a business and the next day it's going to be successful. No, it's not. It's going to take you 7 years to even know where you want, and you're probably going to make 500 mistakes before you get there, and they're going to make you stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger every single time that you do it. And yeah, you're probably still not doing the right thing when you do it, but you have to go through these things and you have to plan to make sure. For me, I know the new way of doing the business and the new plan that we've done is it is the right thing that we've done, and it's the best decision that we've ever made. But it wasn't a decision that was made in 2 days. It was a decision that was made in 9 months. It was. It was. It took a long time to bring it all back and bring it all to life. And I'm so glad that that's how you do it. And I think if you don't plan, then you don't even know what you're going to be. You don't even know what you're going to be at.
Well, you don't know what you don't know. That's what they say, right? Yeah. You don't know what you don't know. How did you come up with baby Ace's name?
Oh, have I told you guys already?
No.
Oh, okay. So obviously Andrew's A, I'm A, and I was like, we need to have AAA.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, that's like my cousins, they're LLL.
Yeah.
So
like we can't have 2 A's and then some other name. So it has to be A. And then I very much like king names. Mm-hmm. So I really wanted him to be like an Edmund or, something
like a nice strong name.
Very strong name. Yeah. And I was looking through the king names and I saw the only other name that was A was
Andrew. There's Andrew.
There was Andrew, but there was Alexandria and there was Archie because Prince Archie. And I'm like, oh, he's already been a prince. Like, it's already.
What else can I do?
Yeah. And then going down, and I saw Ace, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a little bit Alison because I'm a little bit wacky as well."
It's
sometimes,
different.
yeah. And it really worked in. And I said to Andrew, "What about Ace?" And this was literally 2 weeks before he was born. He's like, "Done. We're going to call him Ace." And that's how it came up.
I mean, you were so decided on it too. I remember you went out, bought personalized blankets, personalized bonnets, very cute. I mean, I think it's a very nice name.
You're like, what happens if you don't call him Ace? I'm like, his name's Ace.
What if it comes out and it's a girl? It's still Ace.
And then his middle name is George.
Beautiful.
That is his grandfather, Andrew's dad.
Nice. That's my dad's name too.
Oh, Andrew's dad's Greek, so they normally call the first kid after the grandfather.
Nice.
So I thought, okay, we'll put George as the middle name.
Well, that's really funny talking about me. Lol, love talking about me. But like my grandfather's name was Albert and then he was Albert George and then my dad's name's George Albert and my name was meant to be Albert George. Can you imagine me, Albert?
Yeah, because your middle name is Albert.
Like, my middle name is Albert. Can you imagine my name wasn't Jason and my first name was Albert?
If your name was Albert, you just suit it so much.
I mean, it's one of those family traditions. I get what you mean in terms of calling him George. So that's nice. I do like that name. George is a beautiful name.
Yeah.
It is a really nice name.
And then obviously his last name's after his daddy. So
yes. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're getting a lot of other questions that are very similar. Which is totally fine. You are a new mum.
Yes.
But in terms of being a new mum, running a business and kind of living your life, how do you do that? How have you found out that you can be a mum and you can work?
Because you make it work.
Yeah.
You have to. And I think, before being a mum, I was a mum to 3 businesses.
Totally. That's true.
So, you just make it work. And I think I love what I do every single day. And I love AC so, so, so much. He makes me cry every time I look at him. But so you juggle it and you make it work. And I think if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. So
yeah,
it's it's a passion of mine. I go to work with like passion every single day, and I take little AC to work, and he has his own little room now.
He does have his little nursery in the office.
So until I can't do it anymore, I'm going to make sure that I can do it. And when he's old enough to go to daycare or whatever it is, I'll make sure that he does it. But I want the best world for him, and he inspires me to work harder.
Totally.
He really does. He actually inspires me to want to do better.
I mean, you want to do anything for your children and you working hard will just have it all for him. And I love it.
And I want to, teach him that nothing is given to you on a hand, like a silver platter. And what the world has come to these days with our generation, we're so entitled. And I want to teach Ace that, there's no such thing as being entitled. You have to get out there and you have to work, and you have
earn what you
have
you
to,
earn what you get.
And if you put the hard work in, you will get it. And that's what I really want to teach him, because, you know, I had to do that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you honestly, that's true. You had to do that.
yeah.
Like Sparkling White Smile was your first baby, and Ace is your second. But no, Ace, you're always number one.
You're
and guys,
always-
he is a real baby. He's literally just been asleep this whole time. Oh, there he is with his little dummy.
Oh my God. He's Adam got him the dummy, and it's
So
so big but so cute.
It's so cute. Well, any last words of advice for our listeners out there? I know we were on a long hiatus, guys. We missed you, obviously.
Yeah. No,
But
we're
Alison's
definitely
been busy with a baby.
I'm going to make sure I do these podcasts more often. I love doing them.
Yeah.
We'll get people back on there, and we'll do them, I think, once a month.
Perfect.
Definitely. I'll be doing them once a month.
Yep.
So anything that anyone wants, or even if you want to come on the podcast,
Let
send
us
me a
know.
DM. I'd love to have you on.
Totally.
So
And then you'll be directed to me.
you got to deal with the big boss. But yeah, I'm really looking for people that are, you know, entrepreneurs looking to grow their businesses, startups, small businesses. I'd love to have you sitting in the seat, because it's going to be awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right.
Thanks,
you.
guys.